Good afternoon, friends, and welcome to this special briefing on Honorable Vice President's visit to Mongolia to attend the 11th summit of the Asia-Europe meeting. As you all may know, this is the 20th anniversary of the Asia-Europe Forum. And to brief you on this important visit, I have with me Secretary East, Srimati Preeti Saran, and OSD to the Vice President, Shri Anshuman Kaur. Secretary East will give you a broad opening statement explaining the concept behind ASEM, what is our expectations from this meeting, what has been India's role, and then she's open to taking questions. With that, I give the floor to Secretary East.
Thank you, Vikas, and good afternoon, and thank you for joining us this afternoon for this briefing. Primarily to tell you about India's participation at the 11th ASEM Summit. ASEM stands for Asia-Europe Summit. This is the 11th summit that is being held in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, on 15th and 16th of July. The Indian delegation would be led by Honorable Vice President Shri Ansari. He would be accompanied by other senior members of the Ministry of External Affairs and Vice President Secretariat. This is the 11th summit, as I mentioned. The ASEM, as the acronym stands for Asia-Europe, representing countries, 51 countries from Asia and Europe, and two organizations, the ASEAN and the European Union. Collective membership of these 53 entities comprises of 62% of the world's population, 57% of global GDP, and about 60% of world trade. This is a unique platform of dialogue between the two continents, Asia and Europe, in a constructive partnership that entails political dialogue, economic collaboration, as well as socio-cultural exchanges. Apart from the summit, which is held once every 2 years, the ASEM also meets at the foreign ministers level every alternate year, so interspersed. And in addition to that, the ASEM also meets from time to time at the level of foreign ministers. So far, about 12 foreign minister level meetings have been held in ASEM, and about 7 cultural level ministers meetings have taken place. There is also another forum within ASEM of parliamentary exchanges, and in fact, earlier this year in April, our Honorable Speaker had participated in the 9th Parliamentary Forum of the ASEM countries, which was also held in Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia. India joined ASEM on 1st of January 2007, and so we've participated so far in 4 earlier summits. Honorable Uprashtrapati Ji in fact had attended an earlier ASEM summit in Brussels that was held in 2010. In 2013, he also inaugurated the ASEM Foreign Ministers meeting that was held in Delhi in November 2013. This year is unique for ASEM because we celebrate 20 years of the establishment of this forum. It was established in 1996. And it is unique again because it is held in the backdrop and the theme of 20 years of ASEM, Partnership for Future through Connectivity. The format of this 2-day summit would be, it will have a welcome ceremony followed by a plenary session. And then there is a lunch engagement and a cultural program and a gala dinner. Next day, Uprashtrapati Ji will participate in a retreat event. And thereafter, time permitting, we hope that he will have the opportunity to meet with the new leadership in Mongolia. They've just recently held elections in June this year, and there is a new Prime Minister and a new Speaker of the Parliament, who's also the leader of the current ruling party. And so we hope that this particular visit, the fact that the Indian delegation is being represented at the level of our Vice President, implies the importance we attach, of course, to ASEM, but also because of the fact that it is being held in Mongolia, which is our strategic partner. You would recall that last year, Honorable Prime Minister had a very successful visit to Mongolia when our comprehensive partnership was upgraded to a strategic partnership. We share cultural, civilizational, historical linkages with Mongolia. The two most binding factors in our relationship are, of course, Buddhism, which goes back 2,000 years as far as our linkages to Mongolia are concerned. And then, of course, democracy. Mongolia is a new democracy. It turned to democracy in 1990. And thereafter, it has held successful elections. And so that is yet another binding factor. Mongolia is a landlocked country. Its immediate two neighbors are, of course, China and Russia. But Mongolia regards India as its third neighbor. And so we have these very strong linkages with them that have been further upgraded following our Prime Minister's visit last year. And so Uprashpatiji's visit this year provides that additional dimension to his visit to Mongolia this year. I'll stop here, but be happy to take questions if you have any.
Yep, the floor is now open to questions. Excellent. Okay, Akhilesh.
Actually, this summit is taking place at a very crucial time when just China has declared that it will not receive any paper of arbitration that is coming out on the South China Sea. So in Mongolia, I think many of the Asian and European countries will be there. So do you think that India is going to have some stand or going to talk about this because it is affecting the whole region in Asia?
Well, this is a multilateral forum, and the main theme of this particular summit is connectivity. And we are celebrating 20 years of the formation of this very important forum. So I would like to focus on what this event is all about and cannot anticipate.
This briefing is on ASEM. Secretary East has already told you what is the main theme of ASEM, what are likely going to be the discussions around that main theme. Please wait for my regular briefing on Thursday. Mukesh.
Can you please reiterate your position on South China Sea?
This is a press conference on ASEM.
But connectivity has to do with the freedom of navigation.
South China Sea,
and
please look at my
sea.
previous briefings. You will see our official stand on the South China Sea. आप भी कोशिश कर लें, मनीष.
सर लास्ट ईयर प्राइम मिनिस्टर भी मंगोलिया गए थे, क्योंकि ये मंगोलिया से जुड़ा है, तो और मंगोलिया में उनको एक घोड़ा भी मिला था गिफ्ट में. अगर उस पर कुछ आप अपडेट दे सकें कि वो
घोड़े के बारे में आप प्रकाश डालें सेक्रेटरी साहिबा.
घोड़े के बारे में तो मुझे इस वक्त फिलहाल करंट जानकारी नहीं है, लेकिन I'll be happy to provide you.
मैंने पूछा था JSEA से, तो घोड़ा बहुत स्वस्थ है, उसकी खुराक वराक उसको दी जा रही है और बहुत अपने आराम से वो अपनी जीवन यापन कर रहा है मंगोलिया में.
What will be main thrust of Vice President's presentation during the ASEM Summit?
So the main thrust, since the theme is connectivity, obviously Uparashpatiji would focus on that particular theme. And when we look at connectivity, we look at not just the vast geographical space that connects India as being part of Asia to Europe, but we also look at other aspects of connectivity, including digital connectivity, historical, civilizational, cultural connectivity, people-to-people connectivity. And so I would imagine that Uprashpatiji will focus on all the broad aspects encompassing the theme of connectivity. Of course, the current theme that is of huge concern to us as a country and the global community is terrorism. So I'd imagine that that would definitely come up for discussion.
Mr. Sharma.
Madam, since this is focused on connectivity, I would like to ask, what would be India's stand if China pushes for maritime Silk Route and the Silk Route?
Well, we are open for discussions in all kinds of connectivity, including physical connectivity. We ourselves are very actively engaged in connecting ourselves to our immediate neighborhood and to, as part of our Act East policy as well, we have a very active engagement in terms of physical connectivity. So we'd be very happy to discuss issues that assist in promoting our own desire to connect with Asia and Europe.
Yes.
I'm Ritu Sharma from the New Indian Express, and my question is regarding defense cooperation with Mongolia. Because there have been reports that Mongolia was seeking India's help in getting its MiG-21's fleet airborne. And they were seeking some spare parts and help with its overhauling and stuff. So do you think that India would be in that capacity, or is India going to help Mongolia in one way or the other in building up its capability?
Well, India is a strategic partner of Mongolia, and we're open to all kinds of discussions. Defense and security is a very important component of our ongoing discussions with Mongolia. We have, in fact, traditionally been providing capacity building assistance to Mongolia. And we would be discussing all this under the ambit of our normal ongoing security and defense dialogue with Mongolia. Nothing concrete that I can share with you at this stage.
Good. I think we have no other questions on ASEM. So, Anshuman, would you like to add anything? No, he doesn't want to add anything. That concludes the press conference. Thank you. No.